Dreaming and believing go hand in hand like a baseball and a glove, right? Well, we're going to prove how all of that has landed a former three-time world champion in San Antonio. I sat down with Jeremy Affeldt to hear how he's helping the community with a big heart and an even bigger batch of barley.
Struck him.
Not one.
And for the first time since 1954, the Giants are world champions.
Not two.
Pitching and defense tonight since Affeldt took over.
He allowed just one hit in 5 postseason appearances in 2010.
But 3 World Series wins for former San Francisco Giant Jeremy Affeldt. Though he may be retired from Major League Baseball, this champion pitcher is extending his lucky left arm to the San Antonio community.
I don't want to be known as this baseball player that travels and leads. I want to be part of a community. I was so community oriented in San Francisco. You know, my fundraisers obviously were down there. My nonprofit was doing a lot of hunger initiatives in there. I was hanging out with the people. You know, I did a lot of stuff with the homeless youth. I just love being a part of the community and what San Francisco represented.
Throughout recent years, Affeldt traveled the nation and visited several different breweries, so he decided to take a swing and open up his own. It is now the focal point for his philanthropic heart.
I just felt I can do this. I can do this here, and I can be part of a community. And one of my dreams was to speak to men and encourage men to be great, and to what does it mean to represent a man, especially in today's world. How to be a father and be a good one. I have all boys, so how to be a father to boys, but how to just be a good father. And that was one of my things. If I start a brewery, I get to do what I want, and I get to put on whatever I want. And so it was all about community. So the brewery now, trivia nights and music, all community. Trivia nights, you got people from San Antonio coming to play trivia.
It's called Free Rome Brewing Company, nestled in the heart of downtown Boerne.
What an awesome experience and awesome opportunity for me to be here in Boerne. They are a German town, and they're not all Germans, but they all drink beer like they're German. We wanted to keep the history of Boerne, of the barn. We made it like a pub table, but then we made these, looks like a well, but it turned into lights. Whoa. And then you can, so this is what, 333 gallons?
From the big leagues to the batch of brews.
You can put whatever fundraiser on you want. You can give back. You brew beers because there's so many people that come do collabs.
He's not stopping with charity events and experimenting. Affeldt also hosts a podcast to connect with fans and share his story.
I'm a guy that dealt with a lot of storms in my life from the time I was a kid to now. I've dealt with a bunch of them. Baseball, I dealt with a bunch of them. I got brought into some pretty crazy situations. And how I handle storms and how I look at storms. I look at storms as a positive, not a negative.
As you can tell, Affeldt is pretty transparent, but I asked him what he meant exactly by the storms.
The biggest storm I went through, to be honest with you, was when I got divorced. If you had a 22-year marriage, right? So that was crazy. But what was the craziest is you look at that storm, you're like, how do I protect my sons? Because they don't need to see a dad that's jaded or angry or emotional. Like, it's just a crazy time. Like, it just happens. It's life. They're inevitable. So this is my Buffalo Wall. Obviously, they're all charged in a storm. That's what that is.
Which ties back to his brewery's name, Free Rome, in regards to buffalo. He says they're the only animal that faced the storm instead of running away from it.
I'm gonna run at it, and I'm gonna take whatever it has, and I'm gonna figure out how to deal with it. And I became a better father to my sons through that process. And when I married Candace in November, man, it was one of those things where you looked at it as, like, for me, marriage is like a lifelong thing. It's warm too, so was she roosting on it?
The two are enjoying a lot of sunshine these days in their home with their chickens and dogs. While I visited their home, I had to see his man cave and championship rings.
No way.
Yeah.
That is cool.
When they talk about 4 seams in baseball, it's the hardest thrown fastball. There's a sinker.
Why not get a lesson in pitching while I'm at it?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually the better.
A for effort, right? Still an honor to learn from a pro who, despite the curveballs, hits it out of the park in life. He is now creating moments and memories. In this field, he is roaming free.
Thanks so much for all this experience.
Heck yeah.
Jeremy Affeldt will be playing in the Hall of Fame Classic on May 27th. Go Jeremy! His next men's night, which he hosts every third Thursday of the month over at the brewery, will be April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. So you guys can head out there. If you're not going to Fiesta, go enjoy that. Thank you for sharing your story with me, Jeremy. Coming up,